What's that sound? It's for amusement only, the EM and Bingo Pinball Podcast.
Welcome back to For Amusement Only. This is Nick Baldridge. Today I got a request to discuss insert leveling. Now there's two different ways you can think about this. Some inserts are not level because they have sunken, and other inserts are not level because they are cupped. Today we're going to talk about the sunken style of insert. Inserts sink because the adhesive that holds them in place has failed after 30, 40, 50 or more years. The way that you repair them is actually pretty simple. But you have to loosen the remaining adhesive to allow the insert to completely move. In some cases, the insert is just going to fall right out of the game as soon as you lift the playfield. In these instances, all you have to do is glue it back in place. But in most instances, you're going to find that a sunken insert still has some adhesive which is adhering that insert to a lower spot in the routed hole than it occupied some years prior. So how do you fix it? The first thing that I do is I lift the playfield. Then I will identify from the underside which inserts need to be corrected. And I do this by taking my hand and poking from the underside while feeling on the top side to see if I can feel the insert move at all. If the insert moves, then that means that it's going to definitely move under the weight of a steel ball. And in order to correct this, what I do is I take either a heat gun. However, in some cases those can get way too hot too quickly. So what I've been finding myself using more and more is a hair dryer. A hair dryer is much less powerful than a heat gun, and you don't have to worry about it bubbling the insert, at least if you are careful. So what I will do first, just to get the insert used to the idea, is turn the hairdryer on low and then wave it around the insert. You don't want to hold the heat directly onto the insert or you will cause it to bubble. So move it around. Be careful where you're aiming. You don't want to heat up everything under the playfield. You just want to heat that one small area. And then after a couple seconds of doing that, enough to get that insert warm, I will turn the hairdryer on to high. At this point, you have to keep the thing moving constantly. The thing being the hairdryer. Otherwise, your insert is going to be destroyed. So keep moving constantly and then stop and apply pressure from the back, uniform pressure to the insert, and it will pop out of the game. Now at this point, you have to put some new adhesive on. In some instances, you have to scrape off a little bit of the old insert. You can just take a file and file it off very gently. But most of the time you don't have to do that. Now, here is the kind of controversial piece of this topic. The way that I do it is different than some will prescribe. I use Loctite superglue. The gel kind that comes in the blue bottle, at least at the moment. Why do I do this? Because it sets very quickly, which is crucial. It's fairly easy to reposition for a few seconds after you get it into the game. And if done right, it leaves no mess on top of the playfield. So here's how you do it right. You take small dots of the super glue and place them in several spots around the circumference of the insert. Then what you're going to do is angle the insert into the hole in such a way that one side's super glue is going to make good contact. Keep in mind that you don't have to put super glue all the way around the outside of the insert. You only really need it to hold in place in 2 to 3 spots. 3 is better than 2. Don't use giant globs of it. You just need small, very thin lines or a few slightly larger dots. Slide it in one side. First, allow the super glue to make contact with the wood, and then drop it into place. Have a paper towel ready to wipe off any super glue which may have made contact with the surface, and then very quickly you need to reposition the insert to make sure that it's level. I do this by feel, only by touch. I don't look at it. I just make sure that with my fingers I feel no raised surface of wood anywhere near the insert. You should also not feel the raised surface of insert anywhere near the wood. It should just be smooth. Now, after just a few short seconds, it's going to set in place, and you'll be good to go. Now, here's the problems with this method. The first is, if you use too much glue, it's going to get above the insert, under the insert, on the hardware underneath. It's going to get everywhere. You definitely want to use it sparingly. It does not take much. The other downside is that it is hard to remove. You have to heat it again, but you don't want to heat it right away because the insert has just been heated. So you want to give it a few minutes and then heat it again. Some other words of warning: you don't want to heat from the top of the playfield. That's going to cause all kinds of problems with the ink that is screened onto the playfield. So you want to heat from the bottom. Always, 100% of the time. 100%. Once you've done this once, it gets less scary, believe me. And soon you'll be re-leveling the inserts in all your games. Tomorrow, hopefully, we will continue this discussion and talk about what to do about cupped inserts. There's a few different things you can do there. But that's all for tonight. Thank you again for joining me. My name again is Nick Baldridge. You can reach me at foramusementonlypodcast@gmail.com, or you can call me on the Bingos line. That's 724-BINGOS1, 724-246-4671. You can listen to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Pocket Casts, via RSS, on Facebook, on Twitter at Bingo Podcast. You can follow me on Instagram at nbaldridge, or you can listen to us on our website, which is foramusementonly.libsyn.com. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll talk to you next time.